Tonight on CBC Vancouver News. Fast growing. A new wildfire on Vancouver Island forces evacuations and power outages.
This thing is just going out of control. And our first thought was like, holy smokes, how close is this?
Plus, as drought drags on in Dawson Creek, officials eye a costly new water pipeline.
We never expected a 4-year drought. Really, with changes in climate, things are becoming a little bit more severe.
We'll tell you the price. And with the World Cup less than a year away, FIFA kicks off the search for thousands of volunteers.
What benefits open up? Are there discounts and tickets?
To give a sense of community for everybody, especially soccer fans.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Baneet Braich. A fire south of Port Alberni on Vancouver Island is raging out of control. It has more than doubled in size in less than a day. It's grown to almost 14 square kilometers and forced the evacuation of a nearby campground. Katie DeRosa has the details.
Thick, dark wildfire smoke looms over Port Alberni. The Mount Underwood fire is burning out of control, rapidly expanding since Monday night to nearly 14 square kilometers. BC wildfire crews, including 3 helicopters and a heavy equipment task force, are being challenged by strong winds, dry conditions, and steep terrain.
Last night, strong winds flowing up the Alberni Inlet pushed this fire aggressively uphill, and this has accounted for the high fire behavior we saw yesterday and are seeing into today.
One Port Alberni resident watched the relentless blaze as it grew Monday night.
You watch it go from like a small mushroom to a massive mushroom over the course of like 10 minutes. Like this thing is just going out of control. And our first thought was like, holy smokes, how close is this?
So far, the fire has not threatened any homes in Port Alberni, but the town's mayor says residents are on high alert.
I want to acknowledge the anxiety that comes with a fire like this. Personally, can't look out a window at my house without seeing the plumes of smoke, and I think many people are in that same situation.
The fire did force the evacuation of the China Creek campground, which has 250 tent and RV campsites. The Pachina Bay campsite also canceled reservations over the next week. The fire has closed the road between Port Alberni and Bamfield on Vancouver Island's west coast and cut power to Bamfield and the village of Anakla.
Its current status is out of control and burning at a rank 4 and rank 5.
That's one level below the most aggressive fire rating. The Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District issued an evacuation order for the Bamfield and Cherry Creek electoral areas. It did not have information about the number of properties impacted, but says most in the area are recreational properties. Wildfire crews are also battling another fire near Port Alberni, the Wesley Ridge fire. The Wildfire Service says that fire is currently being kept at bay. Katie DeRosa, CBC News, Victoria.
Meanwhile, a fire west of Vesuvius Lake in the Okonogan Simil is now considered under control, and evacuation alerts are no longer in place. So that fire was discovered late Monday afternoon and was visible to traffic on Highway 3. It grew to 7.5 hectares and prompted an evacuation alert for 3 nearby properties. That has now been rescinded.
After the firefighters came up here, they were dousing with water and you got a lot more white smoke.
Sure happy at they put so much effort into get it under control.
BC Wildfire Service says the flames are no longer expected to spread beyond their present perimeter given current conditions. And Steve Jung joins us now with a first look at the weather. Steve, how is it looking out there?
Well, Baneet, over the last day or so, it's been very hot and it's been very dry, and we're also expecting it to be windy for another day as well. If we look here on Vancouver Island, we'll see wind speeds around Tofino and Victoria over 40 kilometers an hour at times, getting close to 50 at others. Now, this could have a lot of implications for the current wildfire situation, including the Mount Underwood fire, which is still burning out of control. It could really intensify wildfire behavior, but hopefully as we get later in the week, we'll see Thursday and Friday some more rain come to the province. We'll have more on that coming up later in the show.
Okay, thank you, Steve. And a town in northern BC is in the midst of a years-long drought. It's threatening the city's only source of drinking water. The city of Dawson Creek is now racing to build a $100 million water pipeline. CBC's Baneet Braich explains how officials were caught off guard.
Hi, I'm Matt Preprost, and behind me is the Kaskatnaw River near Dawson Creek. This is where the city pulls drinking water for 15,000 people in the region. The river's dropped to some of its lowest levels in recorded history, and after 4 straight years of drought, the city is worried it won't meet demand for much longer.
We never expected a 4-year drought. We always thought we needed to get through a 1-year drought. And so we invested in that direction. But really with changes in climate, things are becoming a little bit more severe.
Unlike a lot of cities, Dawson Creek was never built around a major water source. During the Second World War, the U.S. Army built the city's water system to support construction of the Alaska Highway. Since then, Dawson Creek has grown and modernized. Industry is growing, a new hospital is being built. Mayor Darcy Dober says the city needs to be proactive to protect its future.
This is the #1 priority for our community's future, right? Do we get 2 or 3 days of rain? The next day, there's not even puddles around. The ground is absorbing it quicker than it comes.
The city wants to fast-track a new water pipeline, most likely to the Peace River, about 55 kilometers north of the city. They say it's the only long-term solution and could secure water for the next 50 to 100 years. But the city needs the province's help to fund the project, and it also needs to go through an environmental review that could take up to 5 years. The city wants to bypass that to get shovels in the ground sooner.
It then takes it from, a 2-year to a 5-year project. We don't have 2 to 5 years. We need to get this moving quick.
The province says it's helping the city with emergency plans and guiding the proposed pipeline through the exemption process, but pressure is mounting. The city has put in restrictions on residents and industry to reduce new demand.
The city has about 200 days of water stored in its reservoirs. Tapping into them would be a last resort, and a clear sign Dawson Creek is running out of time. Matt Preprost, CBC News, Dawson Creek.
There's more reaction to a recent BC Supreme Court ruling involving Indigenous rights and title. So it gives Cowichan tribes fishing and title rights for a portion of land along the Fraser River. But on Monday, the provincial government said it would appeal that decision. And I spoke with CBC's Alana Kelly about the ruling and reaction earlier.
Right now, the area has industrial businesses, houses, a large pool complex, and farms. This decision creates questions over federal, provincial, municipal, and First Nation land rights. So how do they exist all together? These are the questions we are trying to figure out.
And what has that reaction been like so far?
It's creating disagreement between nations. Musqueam was a defendant and strongly disagrees with the ruling, saying they too have title and rights.
We have deep ties to that specific area, and we had the Sparrow case, which was in the Supreme Court of Canada, not too far from that parcel of land. So it's right in the heart of our traditional territory.
The latest ruling could have wide-ranging implications for other land decisions. This is what the opposition Conservatives are saying. They agree that the province was right to appeal this, and they're worried what the ruling will mean for private property owners in the area. Here's the local MLA.
This decision applies to lands over 1,800 acres within my constituency of Richmond-Queensborough. It does have significant effects. It's a precedent-setting landmark case that could affect private property rights throughout the province.
Now, Cowichan Tribe says it is not seeking to displace current landowners, but how it will impact people who live and work in this parcel is unclear. The decision calls for negotiations between all parties to reconcile. This is a complicated matter. The ruling is more than 800 pages. It's been in court for more than 500 days. The BC government is appealing. It wants the ruling paused until that appeal is heard. But we could see this matter go all the way to the Supreme Court of Canada.
And that is Alana Kelly. Thank you. And you can read more reaction on this story on our website, that's cbc.ca/BC. Abbotsford police are investigating a fatal shooting on Cardinal Avenue. Police say the incident happened at around 4 p.m. on Monday afternoon inside an apartment unit. A man was found dead and another man was taken into custody at the scene. Police say there is no ongoing risk to public safety. Port Moody police say a truck driver has been seriously injured after his truck was struck by a West Coast Express commuter train. Police say the train hit that truck just before 7:30 at the Reed Point Marina crossing today. Police say the driver of the truck didn't yield to the train crossing and suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries when he was ejected from the vehicle.
Our initial information from speaking to witnesses is that the vehicle was on the tracks, crossing the tracks around the arm signal that had been down at the time when it was struck by this moving train. He was also apparently ejected from the vehicle, given the force of the crash. So certainly very serious. Fortunately that, there's no fatalities here.
Investigators say no one on the train was injured, and they are looking for more information from witnesses. Short-term rentals on Salt Spring Island will soon be limited to a homeowner's principal residence. This comes after the local trust committee's request to opt into BC's short-term rental rules was approved. Now, the head of the committee says the rules are another tool that support existing land use regulations.
The local trust committee's decision supports the existing land use regulations, which only permit short-term rentals in the form of home-based bed and breakfasts operated by permanent residents, and only in the zones where they are permitted as home-based business.
He says housing prices have made things challenging for the local workforce. The new rules will come into effect on November 1st. The new FIFA World Cup will be in Vancouver next year, and the biggest sporting event in the world is looking for thousands of volunteers. As Kira Junos reports, some who sign up might have a good view of the games hosted at BC Place.
Would you volunteer for the FIFA World Cup next year in Vancouver? They're looking for volunteers.
A volunteer? Yeah. Oh, yes, sure. Because can see a lot of worldwide players.
Perchance. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know where I'm going to be next summer. Okay. So I could be working, or I could be doing that for the FIFA thing.
It would give people something to do. It would give a sense of community for everybody, especially soccer fans.
FIFA is hoping it gives a lot of people something to do, some 6,000 to be exact. The tournament needs volunteers in Canadian host cities, Vancouver and Toronto, to fill many different roles.
It is a huge event, probably once in a lifetime, that you get to be a part of, and to say and to share your city and be proud of your city in Canada is huge.
Sorensen says she has volunteered at FIFA events since the early 2000s and has just signed up to help out during next year's World Cup. A former 2010 Winter Olympics volunteer too says she wants to get involved in a world-class event all over again.
Volunteers are the heart and soul of any event, and they will be the ambassadors of the event.
But besides the personal satisfaction, what's in it for a volunteer helping out a giant sporting organization?
What benefits open up? Are there discounts on tickets or anything like that? I like to think that I would be inside the stadium and not out here.
While FIFA is still keeping the ticket pricing and matchups a mystery, Sorensen says certain roles might allow volunteers to watch a game.
I would say ceremonies. Anti-doping is a big one because you have to watch a player. Language services is good. There's so many things that you may not get to watch the entire game, but you get to see little snippets of the game.
Those interested can go to volunteer.fifa.com. Kira Junos, CBC News, Vancouver.
A groundbreaking new surgery helping people get back their eyesight. After the break, how one doctor is using teeth to reverse blindness.
It's a hot Nooners summer. CBC Musical Nuners are back. This week, we've got the psychedelic sounds of the Latin band Empanadas Ilegales. Beat the heat with some fresh tunes, good vibes, and great community. Head to cbc.ca/musical Nooners for all the details.
I'm Stephen Quinn, and I love living here in Vancouver, BC. It's a city with world-renowned beauty, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. In our new daily podcast, This is Vancouver, we're exploring the diverse range of issues and stories in the city, the good, the bad, and everything in between, as told by the people who live it every day. Don't miss This Is Vancouver, available wherever you get your podcasts, and I'll talk to you soon.
A BC man who went blind 2 decades ago now has his sight back thanks to a rare medical procedure. And as Yasmin Kane explains, the procedure involved an unexpected body part, his tooth.
Yes, seeing the skyline.
After going blind nearly 21 years ago, this is the moment Brent Chapman discovered he could see again through his tooth.
Looks really healthy, looks great.
Chapman is one of 3 people who underwent tooth and eye surgery performed by Dr. Greg Maloney and his team in Vancouver for the first time in Canada.
I feel fantastic. Vision comes back. It's a whole new world.
All 3 patients can now see to different degrees.
To watch them come back into the world it's an incredibly rewarding feeling.
The 2-part surgery developed in the 1960s is a last resort for people with severe corneal blindness. It involves removing a patient's tooth, inserting a plastic lens into it, and then stitching the whole thing into the patient's eye socket. Why a tooth? Because they consist of the hardest substances humans produce, making them the ideal casing to bridge the lens. And using part of a patient's own body ensures it won't be rejected. Chapman went blind when he was 13. He's had about 50 procedures done to try and get his vision back.
And we always said to Brent that we would go anywhere, do anything to keep his vision. And here we are.
Chapman says he's now appreciating the little things.
When Dr. Maloney and I made eye contact, we both just burst into tears. And yeah, I hadn't really made eye contact in 20 years.
He's looking forward to spending time with family, traveling and working, not taking anything for granted. Yasmin Ranea, CBC News, Vancouver.
And since Canada legalized recreational cannabis in 2018, much has been said about its effect on people's health. Some health professionals say using the drug at a high potency increases the risk of psychosis. And as Alison Northcott reports, the concern has grown as cannabis has become more potent.
After 2 years of frequent cannabis use in her early 20s, Bailey Peterson started experiencing troubling symptoms.
It's a couple days of no sleep, sort of manic associated symptoms, and things that were coming to me were like various beliefs and like delusions. It was very scary for my family to witness.
In an article in the Canadian Medical Association Journal, the authors point out cannabis in Canada has become 5 times more potent in the last 2 decades, with higher concentrations of the psychoactive component THC.
With that jump, and when we know that the associations with THC concentration and onset of psychosis or even schizophrenia is higher, it's pretty alarming.
Cannabis-induced psychosis can lead to hallucinations, paranoia, and delusions.
If you are getting exposure to your brain essentially being bathed in these high levels of THC, that's going to act on those receptors in the brain, those cannabinoid receptors that then cause the effect of cannabis.
Many patients recover within 24 hours, but not always. The authors highlight a recent Ontario study that found those who ended up in the ER from cannabis use faced an increased risk of developing schizophrenia. Young men and people with a history of mental disorders such as bipolar disorder, depression, or anxiety are most affected. This psychiatrist sees it often in the psychiatric emergency room.
People are not really aware of the risks. They do not really understand that the potency of THC has increased over the years.
The authors of the CMAJ article say those who experience symptoms should stop using the drug. Peterson was hospitalized for her symptoms and later quit.
I realized that abstinence from cannabis would be the only way.
Experts say Canadians need to know that cannabis has changed and its potency can vary, so they can make informed decisions around using it. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
A look at Whistler earlier today, where the dog days of summer pushed daytime highs into the low 30s. Steve Jung will have your full provincial forecast coming up. Well, if you look up tonight, you might be in for a dazzling cosmic treat. The annual Perseid meteor shower is well underway, but it's at its peak overnight tonight into the pre-dawn hours of Wednesday. The bright moon, which is just past its fullest phase, may make the cosmic fireworks a bit harder to see, though. If you find some time tonight to get outside, you could see roughly 100 meteors per hour. So for the best time to see them and where to go so the moon and the city lights don't interfere, the director of research at the Dominion Astrophysical Observatory, James DeFrancesco, is here with some tips. James, just start by telling us, what are the Perseids?
Yeah, well, the Perseids are a meteor shower that occur every August, and they peak on the night of the 12th. They come actually from the fragments of a comet called Swift-Tuttle, which circles the sun every 133 years. And as the comet gets near to the sun, its surface boils off due to the sun's heat, and fragments of it are left behind as a trail. Now, it just turns out that the Earth's orbit intersects with the orbit of the comet, and so the trail of the fragments of the comet actually fall into the Earth's atmosphere every year at this time. And so we see them as a collection of meteors that fan out across the sky over a period of time in the early August, but peaking around tonight, August 12th, every year.
And James, I'm wondering if you can tell us a bit more about why this is such an annual event.
Right. Well, because the Perseids have a trail that intersect with the Earth's orbit at a particular place, as the Earth goes around the sun, it passes through this trail of fragments pretty much every year on the same date. So that's why it's an annual event.
And what exactly causes this to happen?
Well, when the Perseids come in, what we're seeing is the fragments of this comet that has headed towards the sun and back again for probably thousands of years. Over that time, the surface of the comet is heated and breaks apart, and those fragments then flow along the orbit of the comet itself. That trail is pretty well defined over space, and when the Earth passes in its orbit through that trail, these cometary fragments enter the atmosphere and burn up, causing the streaks of light that we see on the night sky.
And for those who are really excited to see this tonight, possibly, where would be, the best place to see them clearly? Would a telescope help?
Actually, a telescope would not help. In this case, it's really best just to find a dark spot that you can lie down and have your eyes adapt as best possible to the dark conditions, and maybe perhaps with your head facing north, because the meteors tend to radiate from a particular place of the constellation of Perseus, which at this time of year is due north around sundown. So if you're looking straight up, you should be able to see in your field of view the streaks of light as they pass overhead.
All right, there you go. Some tips for a spectacular show tonight, hopefully. Thanks, James. That's James DeFrancesco, the Director of Research at the Dominion Astrophysical Observatory.
Okay, my pleasure.
And new housing data suggests despite efforts to get more homes built, there are actually fewer on the horizon. The federal government made promises to ease the housing crisis. Kate McKenna checks in on where those promises stand.
A key priority for Mark Carney during the election, building more homes.
There simply aren't enough homes, so housing is just too expensive. Now, it doesn't have to be this way.
But new data shows the federal government has a long way to go. In May and June, residential construction intentions dropped 15%.
Most of the decline is in lower mainland BC and the GTA. And what's happened in those two environments is that home prices and rents have fallen.
Experts say it all comes down to math.
We've reached a point at which the costs are so high relative to prices, it's just no longer economically viable to build most forms of housing.
These figures come after Ontario reported it is not on track to meet its housing target of 1.5 million homes built by 2031. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says they want to get more built, but municipalities play a big role.
If you want to build, you will build. And then there's some, I won't name names, they're NIMBYs. And they're the first to get out there and say, we need more homes. Oh, by the way, you aren't building in our backyard, you aren't building in our neighborhood.
The federal housing minister wasn't available for an interview, but Prime Minister Mark Carney has committed to build nearly 500,000 homes annually and slash development fees.
We need to see some response here to get the developers off the sideline and the shovels in the ground.
The Conservatives say Ottawa's previous efforts to move the needle, including giving money to cities to fast-track development, didn't work.
That program was an abject failure. I mean, they gave millions of dollars to cities that then turned around and increased their costs for building.
This week, Ottawa announced consultations on its plan to create a new housing crown corporation. But with targets slipping and costs climbing, the federal government is under mounting pressure to make good on its commitments. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
The UFC has sold its broadcast rights to a streaming service. Paramount Plus will now offer content in a way that could be better for fans. But as Ali Chiasson reports, there's a catch for Canadians.
Wow. Streaming services have been fighting for months to win the broadcast rights to this UFC action. Time's up for ESPN's old contract. Oh, he's got the juke! And for cable's iron grip on sportscasting.
Paramount was rumored and reportedly interested. I don't think anyone necessarily thought they were going to be the ones to land the rights.
It elbowed out other networks like Netflix and Amazon, inking a 7-year deal worth nearly $8 billion.
Every single event will be free of charge if you're a Paramount Plus subscriber, with select events being simulcast on CBS.
Why would Paramount put up that kind of purse? UFC's loyal and growing audience.
Sports is a top of the funnel subscription driver for a lot of these streaming platforms.
Across the 40-something fight nights and marquee events throughout the year, UFC says it reaches about 100 million fans in the US and nearly 950 million worldwide. For Canadian fans, though, the pay-per-view model still stands, for now. The people training at this mixed martial arts gym in Toronto would like Canadian fans to get the same deal.
A lot of family, the kids, they see the UFC there, they like to bring the kids to do the MMA.
More interest might mean more students signing up for mixed martial arts classes.
Finally, like basketball, soccer, now this MMA.
That will start to battle the stigma.
Stigma that MMA is a boys' club blood sport.
How did you get into it? I had a friend that started it, and I was going through a rough time, and so they decided to take me and fell in love with it, and then I've been doing it ever since.
The streaming model could come to Canada as international streaming rights are negotiated, and if that happens, it will be one more blow to pay-per-view.
Oh, and he's out!
Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto.
Let's go to Washington now, where members of the U.S. National Guard have now arrived. The White House is responding to criticism over the president's move to deploy them there. On Monday, Donald Trump declared a public safety emergency in the nation's capital, claiming it had become a lawless city. Lisa Shing has the latest.
Trump allies are doubling down on their support for the U.S. president's move to federalize the D.C. police. The White House says about 850 officers were patrolling. They made a total of 23 arrests, including for homicide, firearms offenses, lewd acts, stalking, reckless driving, and more. We heard from D.C.'s top prosecutor, who brought out photos of young people who had been killed.
What this makes clear to me is that there is a whole community that is suffering because of the violent crime in this district.
While crime is high, especially in certain areas, stats show the efforts to bring those numbers down have helped. Violent crime hit a 30-year low in 2024, so critics, namely Democrats like D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, expressed some concern over Trump asserting federal control. But today, after a meeting with Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, who local police will now report to, Bowser took on a bit more of a deferential tone.
How we got here or what we think about the circumstances right now. We have more police and we want to make sure we're using them.
While local officials may think this is an overreach, there's not much they can do because DC doesn't have a state government, there's no governor, and that means Congress and the president have a lot more authority here than in other states. However, that did not stop Trump from leaving the door open for a similar situation in cities like LA, New York, and Chicago. Here's what the mayor of Chicago said about that possibility today.
Though we take these threats seriously, we will not bow down or succumb to his tyrant rage.
So there's not only anger over Trump using his authority over issues that presidents typically don't wade into, local issues namely, there are logistical challenges too, especially with the FBI and National Guard not having the same authority as DC police do to make arrests, nor do they have the same kind of training for this kind of work. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Washington.
Wildfires are raging across the east coast of Canada. Unseasonable heat waves are also making them worse. We'll have the latest up next.
Hey, I'm Rohith Joseph. Viven is the new show all about discovering great new songs and fresh artists from across BC and beyond. Stream Viven on CBC Listen.
A wildfire burning near St. John's, Newfoundland has prompted new evacuation alerts. Thousands of people in the city and on the outskirts are now preparing to leave their homes and their businesses. This all as other wildfires are roaring in the province. Heather Gillis has the latest.
The wildfire crisis in Newfoundland is deepening, with 2 major fires wreaking havoc and a new one sparking. The Paddy's Pond fire, which began Monday, continues to threaten the capital. Nearly 20,000 people in St. John's and surrounding towns of Conception Bay South and Paradise are under evacuation alert. Some in Paradise were ordered out Tuesday evening.
We are also in the process of expanding the regional state of emergency to parts of St. John's, parts of Paradise, and parts of CBS.
The Paddy's Pond fire has grown to an estimated 200 to 300 hectares, but officials say it's too smoky to tell for sure. It's closed part of the Trans-Canada Highway and is causing chaos at the Canada Games, which is postponing some events, relocating others.
We put out a call last night to each provincial territorial chef team and said, can you come help us get the equipment out of Paradise? And they were all there within 20 minutes, loading up trucks.
Meanwhile, another one, the Kingston fire, continues to grow to the northwest. Even across the bay, its intensity is clear. It's forced 3,000 people to flee and has already burned some homes as it pushes further north.
And we anticipate, based on what we can see at this moment, that there is significant loss.
The Kingston and Paddy's Pond fires are about 100 kilometers apart. Water bombers are flying back and forth, drenching both. A precious resource being shared that has some concerned there aren't enough.
I'm afraid that most people in Conception Bay North, on the Bateeford Peninsula, will not have homes to go back to.
The Premier says the province is trying to maximize its resources and that they're not prioritizing one part of the province over another. But more high-capacity helicopters are coming, so are Black Hawk choppers from Utah with night water bombing capability. Meanwhile, a fire in central Newfoundland has closed another regional highway to the south coast, and a new fire has ignited about 30 kilometers south of the Kingston fire. Heather Gillis, CBC News, St. John's.
Much of the rest of Canada is also in the grip of intense heat, making the battle against wildfires tougher and triggering health warnings coast to coast. Jayla Bernstein shows us the toll that heat is taking on people and the land.
Sweltering heat mixed with drought has left much of the country scorched and tinder dry.
Gotta go with the flow. Too hot, can't move too fast.
I think it's nice, but I can't stay out in it for too long.
Yeah, really well, yeah.
The rising temperatures broke more than 60 records across Canada in places like Baie-Comeau, Quebec, Edmundston, New Brunswick, and Happy Valley Goose Bay in Newfoundland and Labrador. That kind of heat can pose a very real threat, doctors warn, especially for vulnerable people, like those with health conditions like heart disease.
What we see in many studies is that do not occur outside, they occur inside. And mostly it's people that are older, they have illnesses, they live inside, and they are isolated.
Heat waves like these are getting worse due to climate change.
This is like the dress rehearsal, a dry run of what we're going to see that will be normal in 2050. We're exclaiming about it now because it is so unusual, but boy, it will be the sign of the things to come.
The weather is also forcing farmers to adapt, like this Ontario vineyard that's resorted to hand watering.
Well, you've got to do what you can.
The St. Lawrence River has dropped so low, this boat launch east of Montreal is useless. The low water levels could be one factor in this Sea-Doo accident nearby. Sunday night, 2 people were injured when they crashed into the rocks. This Montreal area community organizer says people are telling him the beach is magnificent, but it's in a spot where normally there's not a beach.
Some reprieve from the heat is expected by Wednesday for much of Canada, but it's all relative. Though nights will be cooler, daytime highs in Montreal and Toronto are expected to stay in the high 20s and low 30s until the end of the week. Jayla Bernstein, CBC News, Montreal.
And Steve Young joins us again with your BC-wide weather forecast. Steve, heat records here were broken yesterday, but it does seem like those temperatures will be cooling down.
That's right, Baneet. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen right away, but starting tomorrow, we've been dealing with this ridge of high pressure that's brought unseasonably hot temperatures to much of southern BC. But starting tomorrow, we should see it move off and temperatures gradually begin to return to something a little bit closer to seasonal. So we can see here on this map here, it's going to be 23 degrees in Vancouver. We'll have 27 degrees in Abbotsford, as well as 27 in Hope and in Lytton. Even a chance of thunderstorms in Lytton there. But once we get to Thursday, we'll see those temperatures come down again. 22 degrees in Vancouver, 23 in Abbotsford and Port Alberni. Big change, 23 degrees from 30 tomorrow. And on Thursday, Nanaimo will be 22. But we are also currently dealing with a wildfire near Port Alberni. It's the Mount Underwood fire that's burning south of that area. And we are also keeping an eye on the Wesley Ridge fire that is currently being held. But because of those local wildfires, there is a chance for some smoke near Port Alberni, and a special air quality statement has been issued for that area. We could see smoke impact areas from Tofino to Souk, but just to a lesser degree, but keep air quality in mind over the next day or so. And it's also going to be quite windy. Combined with those dry and hot conditions, that could have a lot of impacts on the ongoing wildfire situation, could increase the behavior of wildfires that are currently still burning around BC, including the Mount Underwood fire, which is still burning out of control. We'll see wind speeds getting up to 40 kilometers an hour, more than that, close to 50 at some time during the next day or two. So that could have a lot of implications for the ongoing wildfire situation. But we do have some relief coming our way. By Thursday or Friday, the forecast is showing more rain coming to the area, including large parts of BC, but also for Vancouver Island. So that is some great news. Depending on where you are, the amount could vary, 10 to 15 in some places, 10 to 15 millimeters, 10 millimeters in others. But this is the relief that we've been waiting for. So we should see that by about Thursday or Friday this week. And as we get later in the week, there it is, temperatures returning to something a little bit closer to seasonal, mostly in the low 20s, a little bit of cloud moving in, and there it is Friday and Saturday, the chance of showers we've been talking about to take us through to the weekend.
You know what, Steve? I wouldn't mind some rain.
I think every single one of us would take it right about now.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure.
And it's not just Canada battling wildfires. Wide parts of Europe were also burning too. A heat wave is fueling flames that are driving thousands from their homes. Chris Brown shows us what crews are up against.
The heat in Europe is historic, with sustained temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius, fanning fires from one side of the continent to the other. Spain may have it the worst, with fire crews overwhelmed and residents terrified. We're helpless and feel completely abandoned. Someone do something for us, pleaded Evangelina Paral. Enormous fires burned less than 30 kilometers from the capital, Madrid, in the municipality of Tres Cantos, where a man was killed. And in the far south, more than 2,000 people in the beach town of Tarifa were evacuated, as the helicopters scooping and dumping seawater couldn't keep up with the fire's spread. Many complained of road chaos as they tried to flee. To the east, the Balkans also burned as people in Montenegro returned to incinerated homes. Dragana Vukovic said money can help replace the things she lost, but memories and keepsakes that burned can never be replaced. Fires raged in nearby Albania too, one of many countries where tourists found their holiday plans upended.
We came here for vacation, just a holiday, and I was really shocked to see the fire.
A warming climate is, of course, a major factor for such extreme conditions and destruction, but not the only one.
The area of flammable vegetation that is forest, that is shrubland, is increasing, especially in the Mediterranean area. And this is largely to do with the rural depopulation.
But resort towns, including in Turkey, have also found themselves in the line of fire, prompting evacuations by sea. Worryingly, the heat and winds may be sustained for days to come. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
Octopi are known for their talents, and you might want to add operating a camera onto that list. A couple of underwater videographers found this out on a recent dive. We will show you that next.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and here's what's in your CBC Inbox.
CBC is a proud sponsor of the Vancouver Latin American Film Festival. This 11-day festival celebrates the art of contemporary Latin American, Latin Canadian, and Indigenous filmmaking. Tickets at vlaff.org. And CBC Musical Nuners are the perfect summer escape. Wednesdays at noon at the CBC Outdoor Stage. Everyone is welcome. The last show of the season is August 20th.
Taylor Swift has announced a new album is on the way. That's sending fans into a frenzy searching for clues on that new music. Alicia Son shows us the hype and the marketing machine behind it.
News of Taylor Swift's 12th album trickled out. First, savvy Swifties noticed a thumbnail on boyfriend Travis Kelce's podcast announcing a special guest. Then, a teaser clip confirming it.
We're about to do a podcast. It's Taylor Swift. Like, is she really going to go on her boyfriend's sports podcast and give us, like, TS12?
Sure enough.
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl. I was buzzing.
Her Eras tour grossed a record-breaking $2 billion in ticket sales, and clearly, Swifties are ready to spend more. The website to pre-order the album crashed soon after it went live.
What is this?
As this TikToker points out, there isn't even a release date.
Like, just don't release anything if it's not ready.
She's very, very skilled and intuitive about knowing what that community is going to want and how to give it to them.
Variety magazine's music editor says it's the art of business.
If you hate the game, don't play it.
What is it about Taylor Swift?
She really just has that songwriting ability.
Professor Stephanie Burt teaches a whole course about it at Harvard.
She has been able to stay both aspirational and relatable.
After spending the money to see the Eras tour in Toronto, Detroit, and Paris last year, Holly Mount Stephen is holding off on pre-ordering the album, opting instead to get a head start on some T-Swift friendship bracelets.
Ooh, I think this sparkly orange, that is kind of speaking to what maybe this album's gonna look like, the vibes.
Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto.
The waters off the coast of Vancouver Island are full of fascinating sea creatures, but it's not often that you really get that face-to-face look. Well, these divers got lucky when a giant Pacific octopus got curious. Check this out.
We really just lucked out with the experience of a lifetime. Chris, myself, and a few other dive buddies were diving into Noose Bay, and we had a giant Pacific octopus come and investigate us, which involved leaping up and taking hold of my camera, carrying around my camera for about 5 minutes, and then jumping over and giving Chris a big hug. All very curious, not particularly aggressive, just tasting its environment and then following us around for a little bit.
I was able to kind of view the octopus having kind of completely engulfed the camera. You can see it in some of the footage. You can see the dial of the lights through it.
I got the camera back and I was like, oh, it's polite of it, and turned it off using its suckers. So it saved me some battery.
When this does happen and it's, you know, on the animal's terms and it just kind of gives you that little bit of attention. I mean, we appreciate every dive, but dives like that are kind of special and they stay with you.
And thank you for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News at 6. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, our free app, as well as on YouTube and our website, cbc.ca/BC. I will have your next local news at 11 o'clock, right after the National. Good night.